Hi, guys. Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila, where we are working to inspire positive, radical social evolution. But today we are talking about brand ambassadors and building a brand ambassador team specifically for your podcast. I am deeply passionate about influencers and brand ambassadors because it really is the most cost and time effective way to market. And we are going to talk about today in a very brief, quick fashion on how you can do that for your podcast and really make your time and energy work for you. I know a lot of us are operating on a shoestring marketing budget for our podcast. So this is a phenomenal way to really build some brand equity and get your voice out there in a cost and time effective manner. So I'm going to jump in, share my screen, and we are literally going to talk about how you can build that brand ambassador team, why, and how it's perfect for the long term, because this is where our consumers are going. So here we go. Jumping right in, my company is KO Alliance. I've been doing marketing branding for over 25 years, and we specialize in building mutually beneficial relationships for the long-term strategic partnerships. It's commonly known as brand ambassadors or influencers nowadays, but we really work to make it, like I said, a long-term mutually beneficial relationship for forever, ideally. So it's not these paid per post or these quick wham-bam situations. This is a real team you're building out, focusing on cultivating community and really spreading the gospel of your business, voice, and or service. Let's jump in. Why do we want brand ambassadors? Well, it really is the most cost and time effective way to get your word out for the long term. Everybody's worried about building a community and cultivating a community. It's amazing to have, obviously, number one, but it's really the best way to get people excited about what you're doing, whatever it may be, and keep them excited, keep them as loyal customers, listeners, whatever. And it's everyone wants to be part of something. So this is the way to go to really build that long-term mutually beneficial situation for everybody, where you can work together, talk together. It's podcasting, it's services. It doesn't really matter what it is. We're coming together over a like-minded situation and then further growing together and continuing to be a part of that community. I will show a study at the end by Edison. It's pretty amazing how we talk about this a lot in Turmeric and Tequila, how our young people are consuming differently, aka your future listeners. They want to be part of something. They know how to dig into the minutia and understand who's behind that cause business podcast, and they consume differently. So we're here for sales funnels and emails and all this, but really it's about supporting the community, and they want to be supported and giving them reason to keep showing up and being excited about something bigger than themselves. How do you do it? We are jumping right in. This is a very quick version, but it's simple. Most of us, even if you only have one or two listeners, you have some current enthusiasts, some current people to work alongside. So bring them on. In my company, we work with very formal, high-end situations and brand ambassador programs that are, in the hundreds. This can start really small, even with a couple people, and do it really casually, and you can grow the program as it goes. So start off with who you have right there, and still approach it with, a formal situation. This is my brand ambassador team. Here's a formal invite. Here's what you'd be interested in. I will have examples of all of these materials if you want to on my website that you can go use for your brand ambassador team, but a welcome letter and invitation saying, here's what the community is about. Here's what our mission is. Obviously, they'll probably know your podcast, but tell them what the team is about and why you're doing it. And that's really to amplify your voice around your podcast and your mission. If they're already a fan, they will likely already be excited to be there and a part of this group. And this in turn gets you really excited about it as well. So it formalizes the community around your podcast all the way around. Within that welcome letter, identify your expectations and the perks. So, again, it can start out super casual and say, we would love for you to wear this t-shirt, tag us wherever you can. And that's enough. Down the road, you can have key messaging and social media calendars and expectations if they're going to events, maybe even incentivize them to talk about your podcast or wear your gear. But all that can happen down the road. Right now, you can just frame some expectation of, wear our gear or use this sticker and tag us accordingly. Can we start really, really small? To onboard them, again, you can make this really simple or super formal. If you're just starting out and you don't have a ton of budget, I would really just lean into the communication of, here's our brand ambassador team. Here's why I'm selecting you. Here's our basic key messaging, our social media guidelines. That means hashtags, how we use our voice, any keywords, things to highlight, them just really understanding the brand and how to speak around it. If you can and you do have the budget, send them some swag. I try and get as many t-shirts out as I can. If you can't start there, start with stickers. You can even do that on Amazon, order like 25 stickers customized to your podcast and get those out. That's usually enough. I started out sending stickers, and then if somebody saw them around town, I told them to take a picture and tag me. And I even had a couple come back, if you've seen my social media, where they've put some stickers in some bathrooms and whatnot, and I will post that. I think it's really cool to see your brand elsewhere and someone intentional enough to post and put your branding out out there. It's pretty cool. So you can start with stickers. If you get down the road, you can get into bags and sweatshirts and all kinds of things. And in turn, that gives you a bunch of content for social media. Make them feel special. So I try and include all my ambassadors in digital shout outs, highlights in the newsletter. Again, swag whenever I can send it out, or I try and keep in touch with them personally about what's coming up for the month so they know what to look for and they know how to reverberate the message. But really stay in touch and engage with your community and let them know how much you appreciate them. And the more you do that, the more they will naturally talk about their enthusiasm for your podcast and your why. The main key is maintaining the team. This is how you kind of keep it alive and breathing. You need consistent communication, consistent support, and consistent engagement. Starting out, it can be small. Get in touch with them once a month. Send them a DM or a nice note. Let them know that you have stickers or swag coming on the way, events that are coming up. Just be in touch with them, and then repost some of their posts, or engage what they have going on in their lives, and the relationship will begin, and you'll see that mutual benefit of consistent communication happen on both ends. And it's super, super authentic and real. And that conversation around your podcast will naturally happen. The most important thing, I think, is you being your absolute most number one ambassador. If you see me out, I'm often in my Turmeric and Tequila gear, and it's a lot. I am that girl. But I believe that if you can't lead by example, if you're not a super fan of your mission, and you don't buy in and believe in it, that nobody else will. So do the best you can to, naturally talk about your conversation, why you're doing it. I know many of us podcasters didn't start out as business humans to go out there and make a bunch of money off this. It was just straight up, I have something to say, and I'm going to use my voice, and we're going to start talking about it. I know that's why I certainly did. So it's all stemming from authentic space for all of us. So just go out there and talk about it, and don't be afraid to wear your own t-shirt, because once you do it, people see your enthusiasm. You believe in it, you bleed in it. They will want to be a part of your community. And naturally that conversation will build around what you're doing. So this is a new way to engage with people and onboard. I hate to say onboard, it formalizes some of these marketing terms into really building that community, but onboard new ambassadors, onboard new listeners, get people excited about it. And that natural energy will carry out and further the message of your podcast or your mission accordingly. It's pretty magical to see it happen this day and age. And you've got all this paid, email funnel and paid marketing and social media ads. Yes. And I think our young people and our conscious consumers are really looking for a community to be part of, a team to be part of, a group to be part of, that's something bigger than themselves and something that they can align with mission wise to really be a contributing factor in this world. So lots of cliches, but I believe it. Build your brand ambassador team. It's the most cost and time effective thing you can do. It's quick and it's as easy as you want to start it and then grow it. There's so much opportunity here. And I really think it's the way of the now and the future. Here's a quick group of my crew. There's people kind of all over the world now. It's pretty cool to see. I'm so excited to have them a part of my team, and I'm excited to see where things grow. I hope that my team can be your team soon, and we can further spread the positive messaging of podcasting. If you have any information or any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. I will have a more in-depth outline of how you can build a brand ambassador team on my website. There is an awesome study. It's called Trust the New Brand Equity, and it really digs into the minutia of why our young people are consuming differently and how they want to consciously spend. If they got $10 for lunch, they'll spend it on 6 of it on a green drink of a company they know that's woman owned or blah, blah, blah. They're pretty intentional around how they consume, and they can get into the details of the why. So build your team accordingly. Have an amazing day, and thank you for joining me. I hope I see you in person soon.